Hello, welcome back to the beginnings of the in-depth part of the becoming a godly husband, becoming a great husband. We're going to jump in and begin to talk about what are the things that God tells husbands to do. And it begins with this idea of giving honor. This idea that your wife desperately needs to know in her soul that she's the most important person, place, or thing in your life. And she says, well, you kind of promised me that I would be one of the most important relationships, one of the most important things. And then about 6 months in, all of a sudden, you went dashing off after work or a hobby or something else. And I need you to come back and give me some level of importance. Give me honor. And this is so crucial. If a man, a husband, will begin to understand how desperate the need is for his wife, to really grab a hold of, I need to honor her every single day. She must feel more valued than any other thing that's going on in your life. Now, the first idea here that we want to grab a hold of is given to us in the Scriptures. Let me show you this. Ephesians 5:25, husbands, love your wives just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself up for her. There will be moments every day where you will get the chance to give up what you want to do, what you think may be the best thing to do, to put her in the number one position. Little short minutes, sometimes hour minutes, sometimes 15 minutes, and it will make all the difference in your marriage. In 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7, the Bible says, you husbands likewise grant her honor, which means to add value to her. She lives in a dependent relationship with you where she wants you to add more value to her by how you treat her. So this first idea is, what would it look like if you were to really do what that verse said, that you were to honor her? The first element is this idea that you would, by your attitudes, by your words, by your actions, you would give her better treatment than any other person in your life. And she's watching. She knows that, oh, I noticed that you were treating the boss or the boss's wife better than you treat me, or you're treating our kids better than you treat me. And so this whole idea, as we just want to look at the screen here, give her your highest level of treatment. Add value to her by treating her better than everybody else. No one receives better treatment than her. She gets your most positive self, your most pleasant self, your most affirming self, your most patient self. She factors into everything that you plan and schedule. One of the things that men don't realize is we tend to live our lives compartmentalized. There's the home compartment, then we go to the work compartment, then we go to the hobby compartment. And our wives are keeping track of, boy, you're treating those buddies of yours much better than you treat me. You're laughing more, you're more encouraging to them, you're kinder, you're more gentle, or maybe you're more sarcastic because that's your love language with other guys. But what I need you to understand is if your marriage is going to get better, you have to decide, my wife is the number one client in my life. That I cannot expect our relationship to get better unless I treat her as the most important person, place, or thing in my life. Now, most wives are willing to let God outrank them, and I find that to be true with my wife. I said, now God's number one, but you're number one right next, and he's rarely going to make a difference there. Now, I made a number of mistakes in terms of telling my wife right before I asked her to marry me. Now, you realize, of course, if somebody's going to make me deny Christ or poke your eyes out, you're blind. And she said to me, well, you're blind too if the reverse is true. So we kind of had this little banter, but it became clear I needed to treat her as the best person. I've watched men change the whole nature of their marriage when they think about their most valuable client at work or their best friend, and they say, my wife is going to get better treatment than I give Jim, or is going to get better treatment than company ABC that gives me a $300 million contract. If you give her that kind of treatment, things will change. This is absolutely simple, but it makes the difference. It's a part of adding value, honoring her, because she is worth it.